Good afternoon. What a wonderful. I really wanted to be out here. I thought it was a perfect opportunity to give you a chair yoga class. I think all the trash trucks have gone by. I got my sun hat on, and yeah, I made a video earlier, and I know it was a little challenging for some, so I wanted to really make this accessible to everybody. So find a chair and place it on a yoga mat so that the chair doesn't slide around, because as we do some standing, that can be a little bit risky. It's best if the chair does not have arms on it, but that it's comfortable enough for you. And if the floor is a little too far away, you have a tall chair or short legs, you can place blocks underneath the feet to raise the floor up. And then just come to a tall seat. So maybe just resting your hands on your thighs and grounding through the sits bones and reaching up through the crown of the head towards the sun. And we're just going to start by focusing on the breath. It's really the thing that separates yoga from other exercises, is that we breathe consciously, that we move mindfully. And the breath is such an important piece, especially at this time when we really want and need to have strong lungs. So just think of breathing in space and expansion into the torso as you inhale. And as you exhale, just draw the navel towards the spine to empty the lungs completely so that you can take in a new, fresh breath. Notice if you're tightening up in the jaws or scrunching up your face at all, and just really try to relax through the face. And then we just want to start connecting the movement to the breath. So bring your hands together in front of the heart. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press the hands away as you round the spine. And then inhale, open your arms wide. Open your chest, look up towards the sky. Good. And then exhale, bring the hands together out in front of you again. Tuck your chin, round the back, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, press the hands away as you round the spine. Inhale, open the arms and the heart as you gaze up. Exhale, reach forward, bring the hands to touch again. Inhale, hands to heart center. And let's do that again. Exhale, press the hands away. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, reach forward, bring the palms to touch. And inhale, hands to heart center. Bring your hands back to rest on the thighs again. And just bring the right arm behind the low back if you can, or just rest it alongside the body here. We're just going to move into a neck stretch. So inhale and sit tall, reach up out of the crown of the head. And as you exhale, just gently drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And then inhale back to center. And exhale, drop left ear towards left shoulder. And then we're going to hold on this side. So feeling that stretch on the right side of the neck. Keeping the heart lifted slightly. If movement feels right, you can nod the head gently. And then we're going to turn the chin down towards that left shoulder to bring the stretch more to the back of the neck. On your next inhale, just lift your chin parallel to the shoulder, and then inhale, release the head back to center, and bring your right hand back to rest on the thigh. Now take the left arm behind the low back. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, drop Drop left ear towards left shoulder. And then inhale, center. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder, and stay. So let the shoulder relax down away from the ear. Keep the heart slightly lifted. Breathe into that stretch on the left side of the neck. And if it feels good, you can nod the head a little bit. And then we're going to turn the chin down towards that right shoulder to bring the stretch more to the back of the neck. On your next inhale, lift the chin parallel to the shoulder, and then bring the head back to center and release that left arm. Let's do some big shoulder circles here with both arms. Scrunching the shoulders up by the ears and then drawing the shoulders back and down. Couple more times. Good. And then reverse the direction. Now inhale, reach the arms way out and up. Interlace the hands up overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to reach over to the right for a lateral stretch. Now if you feel a little unstable here, you could take that left hand to the chair beside you for support. Okay, and then inhale back to center. Exhale, we're going to reach way over to the left. Try to keep both sits bones grounding into the chair. Breathe into that right side body. And then inhale, come up to center. Now from here, release the arms out from the shoulders. Okay? So just shoulder height. We're going to turn one palm way up and back and the other palm way down and back, and then switch. Just bringing some lubrication into the shoulder joints and just getting some circulation through the body. Good. Now reach your arms up a little bit and keep them wide. And we're going to just make fists and then release out. So we're going to just pump the hands a few times, again, to bring that circulation into the arms. So the arms will probably get a little bit tired here, but just see if you can keep going for a few more breaths. Good, and then release. Good, now take your left palm forward, fingers pointing down, and just gently pull the fingers back to stretch through the forearm and the wrist. Good, and then turn the fingers down. So now the palm's facing you. Fingers turn down and pull the fingers back towards you. And then we'll switch sides. So right palm faces forward, fingers pointing down. We're just gently pulling the fingers back, not forcing anything. And then turn the palm to face you, curl the fingers towards you. And then just do some circles at the wrists and reverse the direction. Okay, release the hands back down. So now we're going to work with the feet and legs a little bit. So just lift and extend your right leg forward. Flex the foot as best you can. And then point, flex, point, flex, point, and flex. And then do some ankle circles. And reverse the direction. Good. Now, interlace your hands underneath that right thigh. Keep pressing out through the heel and sit up tall. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the knee, hug it in towards your body. And then inhale, interlace the hands behind the thigh and stretch it forward again. Try to keep the spine tall the entire time. We're just going to squeeze that leg in and then extend it out. And squeeze it in and extend it out. Let's do that one more time. And then extend it out. And then if you can, reach your hands forward. See if you can lift your foot as high as you can. Now, it may just be down here, but see if you can work it just a little bit. And then release. And sit up tall. And we'll switch sides. So straighten the left foot, point and flex. You can hear the birds singing out here. All right, now do some ankle circles in one direction and the other. Good, now interlace your hands behind that left thigh. Press out through the heel, sit up tall, and then exhale, squeeze the knee in towards your chest. Inhale, sit up tall, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale, extend. And last time, exhale, squeeze it in. And then extend. Maybe reach the arms forward. Keep the leg lifted as high as you can. Again, it might be more down here. If you're on the edge of the seat, you might be working a little bit more. Good. And then release the foot down. Okay, we're going to move into some twisting now. So turn to your right. Okay. And then you're going to reach for the back of the chair with both hands so that you're twisting. And you'll turn to look over the back of the chair, trying to keep your chin in line with your sternum as you twist. So maybe you don't look all the way over the back of the chair. Just sit up tall and twist the best you can, trying to keep your sits bones and hips stable. And I know some people have some fused spines that makes twisting a little difficult. So just do what you can. Nice thing about doing this on video is you can cheat as much as you need to. And it's really not cheating. In yoga, we call that listening to the body, and it really makes for a really good yogi. With your next inhale, just come back, releasing the twist, sitting sideways on your chair. From here, we're going to try to find a stretch in the leg. So extend your left leg back. So you have to kind of move to the edge of your seat so that you've got one cheek and one thigh on the chair and the other one's off. And then just hold on to the chair with your hands. And so from here, we're going to tuck those left toes under. And if you can, see if you can stretch that leg straight. That might be difficult. So having that knee bent is okay too. We're really trying to find a stretch in the hip flexor here. So if you do a lot of sitting, this can get really tight. So this is a nice stretch here. Just taking a few breaths here. Hopefully your right knee is at a 90-degree angle. And again, if that floor seems far away, place a block underneath the foot. And then if you feel stable here, draw the navel in, squeeze the low ribs together, press down through both feet, and reach your arms up towards the sky. And breathe here in this pose. If you have tight shoulders, you might feel more comfortable in a cactus position with the arms, or maybe hands at heart center. And of course, you can always bring hands down to the chair if need be. And then bring that foot back to center. We're going to come forward again. And before we move to the other side, we're going to take that left foot, that left ankle, and if you can, bring it to the right knee. Okay. Your knee might be way up here, and that's fine. Or maybe you just have to cross down here. Okay, but we're just trying to get some kind of stretch in that outer left hip. And then if you feel stable and you want an extra challenge, you could try leaning forward over the legs. Just make sure you keep this left foot flexed to protect the knee. And just always coming back to the breath whenever you have a chance, breathing consciously, working to expand the inhale and exhale, to expand the capacity of our lungs. And then inhale, sit up tall, and release that left foot down. Now we're going to turn to face the left. So get both cheeks on the chair for the twist to start so that you feel nice and stable. And then reach back. If you can grab both sides of the back of the chair, that's great. That might be difficult. Maybe you hold on like this. Okay, maybe you can't twist at all, in which case just focus on expanding with the breath. If you can find a little twist, then relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the chin in line with the sternum. And just find that expansion and that emptying with the breath. And then inhale, release back to center. Okay. Now scoot more towards the edge of your seat so that you have one cheek and one thigh solid on the chair. And then start to take your right foot back behind you. Okay. So you can hold on to the chair here with both hands if that helps you feel stable. Tuck the back toes of that right foot under if you can. And then maybe work towards straightening that leg. And that might not happen today. Maybe you kind of play with it a little bit. Okay, but again, the point of this is to try to stretch this hip flexor. Keep the navel drawing in, squeezing the low ribs together and sitting up tall. And then if you feel stable, press into both feet, reach your arms up towards the sky. So this is definitely more challenge, takes more effort. If the shoulders are tight, maybe try cactus pose in the arms or hands at heart center. And then we'll hold onto the chair again, bring that right knee forward, and then we'll turn to face the front again. And now we're going to take the right ankle to the left knee. There goes the UPS driver. All right, so hinging at the hips here, keep this right foot flexed. It was not the handsome UPS driver that used to deliver in this neighborhood. In fact, I think that was a girl. If you're watching this video and you don't know me, you know that my husband is the handsome UPS driver I'm referring to. So this hinging forward here is optional, of course. Like I said earlier, you might be kind of more up here or crossing at the ankle, especially if you've had any hip replacements. You want to be especially careful. All right, so then releasing back to center. And now sit back on your chair a little bit so that you feel stable and take the knees wide. And we're just going to come into a forward fold. So just see if you can, maybe you can reach the floor, or you can even rest your elbows on your knees and just let the back round. Draw your chin in towards your navel. Just attempting to find some kind of slight inversion here. And then inhale, we'll sit up tall again, bring the knees back in. We're going to go through another flow, working with the breath before we do some standing stuff. So sit on your chair. I like to sit forward enough to where I'm still stable, but I reach back. If you can reach back and grab the chair, You want it to be kind of a nice distance. If you're too close, it's a little harder, but you can still do it just with the elbows bent. Kind of feels nice to have the arms straight here. So let's just start with hands on the knees. And then inhale, reach back as the heart reaches forward. So again, finding some kind of back bend, looking up. Maybe the elbows are bent. Maybe you just have hands on hips. And then as you exhale, we're going to cross the arms in front and bring the hands to the opposite knees as you round the back and tuck the chin. And then notice which arm is on top, because in a minute we're going to switch it up. So inhale, reach for the back of the chair, reach your heart towards the sun, find that back bend. And then exhale, bring the other arm on top, reaching for the opposite knee and rounding the spine. Inhale, reach back, find that stretch through the front body. Exhale, opposite arm on knee. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, hands to opposite knee, switching the position of the arms. And then inhale. This time we'll hold here for a couple of breaths. So just finding that stretch through the front body. Maybe you're feeling a stretch through the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, release. So hopefully that felt really good. A lot of times, especially when we're stuck at home all the time, we're on our devices and computers or watching TV, and there's so much rounding going on. So it's really important that we open up. Okay. So now we're going to come to standing. I'm going to turn my chair so that it's still on my mat. Really important that it's on the mat and that the seat is in front of me. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold forward and place my hands on the chair. And I'm going to step back a little bit, kind of in a table position. And let's just do a couple of cat-cows here. So as you exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine, round the back. And then inhale, lift the tailbone, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Just do that a couple more times. So it's always good to move the spine. And again, I know this can be a little bit limited on how much the spine moves, but just doing what you can. And then just come back to that table position with the neutral spine, maybe stepping in a little closer. And then we're going to step the left leg back, okay? And then bend the front knee. So here we're working towards a stretch in the calf and maybe the hamstring of that extended leg. So you can kind of wiggle around here, find what works for you. Maybe stepping back further gives you a better stretch, or maybe stepping forward gives you a good enough stretch and more stability. So just finding, and then make sure that the feet aren't right behind each other. You want to have a little bit of width between the feet. Okay, and then keeping this front knee bent, on your inhale, we're going to reach the right arm towards the sky. And then take that hand back to the chair. Inhale the left arm towards the sky. And exhale, bring the hand back to the chair. Now, hold on to that chair. If you feel stable, this next part is optional. We're going to step into the front foot, maybe come to the tippy toes of the back foot, or maybe lift that back leg. So whatever you feel comfortable with. If you want to keep the foot close to the ground so you feel safe, but you're still building that strength in the standing leg. And really trying to stack the hip over the knee or the ankle so that this is a weight-bearing exercise and we're building and improving our bone mass. Bringing more strength to the bones, fighting osteoporosis. Okay, and then bring that left foot back to the mat next to the right, and we'll switch sides. So bend that left knee, step the right leg back, okay, and just find that distance that works best for you so that you can get a stretch in that back calf and maybe the hamstrings. So think of drawing the navel in, holding onto that chair, make sure it's on the mat so it's not sliding away from you. maybe even rocking forward and back on the toes. And then finding a stable place here to twist. On an inhale, we'll start with the left arm. Open the left arm towards the sky. Keep that left knee hugging into midline. Exhale, release it back to the chair. And then inhale, reach the right arm towards the sky. And exhale, bring it back to the chair. Now again, have a good hold on this chair. And you don't want to try pushing the chair back. You want to press down on the chair. So as you come forward, you're pressing down on the chair. You're lifting the back heel. If you feel safe and stable, maybe lifting that leg any amount. Try not to open the hip. Keep that hip dropping down here. Keep the foot flexed. Okay, and then release the foot down. From here, you can either hold on down here, maybe for a little more challenge, or you can hold on up here if the chair is stable. And we're just going to walk back to find a variation of downward facing dog. So you can either drop the chest here, hips stacking over the ankles, or you can do this from the seat and you might get a little deeper stretch. Take 3 full breaths in and out, wherever you are. And then walk the feet back in. And we're going to slowly come up to standing. Okay, so I'm going to come to the back of the chair now. So we're going to work a little more balancing here. It's always nice to do tree pose when we're outside. And you can either stand facing the chair, holding on with both hands, or if you feel a little more stable, you can hold on with one hand. Okay, so we're going to start with the feet hip width apart, spreading out the toes, feeling that nice strong foundation through the feet, lifting up through the crown of the head. Okay, now if your left side is facing the chair, you're going to take your right toes out to the side and then draw the heel in. If you're facing the chair, then it doesn't really matter which side you start with. Okay, so coming into a version of tree pose here. So maybe, see, I want you to see my feet and my head. So you can stay right here with those toes on the ground as a kickstand and just think of engaging the inner thighs. If you feel stable enough, you could bring your hands at heart center, but please feel free to hold on with one hand, whatever you need to do to be safe. Okay. If you want to try lifting the foot a little higher, you can. Just make sure you're not pushing into the knee. Because as you bring the foot to the leg presses back into the foot. We're finding a little isometric. So drawing that energy into midline and up towards the sky. Again, if you feel stable, maybe reach one or both arms towards the sky. And breathe. And then slowly releasing out of it, bringing both feet back to the mat. Okay. All right, so if you're doing one side, you don't have to move the chair around like I do. You can just turn around. And again, you can do this facing the chair with both hands. All right, so start with that nice strong foundation. Feet hip width apart, spreading out the toes, really rooting down, and then lifting up from the feet, from the navel, up through the crown of the head. Now when you're ready, you'll take your left toes out to the side and draw the heel in, keeping that knee open. You can stay here using the toes as a kickstand, or you can lift that foot up onto the leg as long as it's not at the knee. And then press the foot into the leg, leg into the foot, engage the inner thighs. Reach up out of the crown of the head. And if you feel stable, maybe bringing hands together at heart center. Or possibly even reaching the arms up towards the sky. And you know, it's okay too if you kind of fall in and out of it. Sometimes there's some fun in that. Some kind of bouncing and coming back in. So that's always okay. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Both feet back to the mat, hands at heart center. And release your hands down. Okay, now turn to face your chair, feet hip width apart. We're just going to come onto the toes and then release the heels down and maybe even lift the toes. So we're just going to teeter back and forth here. So this, of course, is working the ankles and the calves. Let's do one more. And then release the feet back down. And then we'll just stretch the top of the feet. So tucking the toes under on one foot. You can wiggle around a little bit here if you want, but just stretching out the toes. And then switch. Alright, and then we'll either come back to sit seated in the chair, or if you feel like coming down on the mat for Shavasana, we'll just close our practice here. So you can either lay out on the mat or just find a comfortable seat and just close your eyes. Just close with 3 cleansing breaths. Just take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And one more time. It's especially nice when you're outside to pause and just take in all the different sounds of nature, even the neighbors chit-chatting on the street, the sound of water nearby, and the gentle breeze against the skin. Maybe take a moment to be grateful. Even during challenging times, there's always something to be grateful for. And then bringing your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that this chair yoga is helpful. I'm always happy to hear feedback. And with that, I wish you a namaste, which means all that is good enlighten me honors all that is good enlighten you. Namaste.